Let's practice some more with rounding off to tens. But this time we're just going to look at rules. What rules do we make when we turn numbers to the closest tens? So the rule looks something like this. You probably understand it because you know the concept. So the rules come very easily once you know what the concept is. So try to understand the rules in case you want to remember it. Some people like to do that. So rounding to tens, if we know that the rule is that the last digit has to end with 10. The units have to end with a 0. The tens will change. So if you want to round off 58,576, the unit 6, it has to turn into a 0. That's rule number 1. And if the units are more than 5, then it turns into the next 10. So we add one more 10 to 7 so that it becomes 8. That's what we did when we looked at it. When you remember, when you were doing this matching exercise, you were making 76, it rolls down to 80. So it's the same thing. The rule here is that the 6 units, if it's more than 5 units, it'll go to the next 10, and so the number increases by 1/10. So increase this digit, the tens, by 1, another 10. So it's 80, and then go back to this as a 0. So that's the number, 80. Fits perfectly with what you selected here. So that's the logic. Let's try again. Here's another number, 401,832. The last digit here, which is the units, it's less than 5, in which case we don't treat it as an extra 10. If it's less than 5, it's not treated as an extra 10, so we don't add any 10 to this 3 here. We'll leave it as it is, and of course we turn this into a 0. That's what it looks like. It should look like 30. So that's what we did. We turn the last digit, or the last unit, into a 0, and leave this untouched. Do not increase it to the next 10. So it remains 30. That's the rule. Once you've got the rule, you should be able to practice with these numbers. 7,858, what does that round off to if you round it to the nearest tens? You're looking at 58. The units are more than 5, so you'll treat this as another 10, so increase this by 1/10. So the two rules we follow here is first that the last number, if it's more than 5, you treat it, or the last digit is more than 5, you treat it as a 10, add it to this 10 before that, and it becomes 6. And of course, you turn this into a 0. So it's 60, like that, because the last digit should be a 0. Okay, you got that. Good. Try another one. 2,623, well, we know that the last digit, the units are less than 5, so we can't treat it as a 10. So we leave 2 tenths as they are and just turn this into a 0. And that's it. That's the answer. Got it? No change there in the tenths. Okay, let's do quick ones here. 6,256, what does that become? You're right. Very good. It becomes 6,260 because this is more than 5. Add one more 10 to this, and 5 tens is 6 tens. So the answer is 60. That's what we did. More than 5, add 1 10, and it ends with a 0, which is 60. What if the last digit, or the last unit, is 5? If it's 5, it's still treated as close to 10. Remember, 5 falls down towards 10 with 6, 7, 8, 9. Same idea. This 5 will treat it as rolling down towards 10, so add one more 10 to this 5 tens. That becomes 6 tens and no units. So it's 60. There you go, ending with a 0. What if the last number happens to be less than 5? It's not 5, it's 4. Now 4 falls on the other side of the hill, on this slope. It'll roll towards 0, isn't it? So 4 doesn't turn into a 10. And so 5 remains 5 tenths. 4 cannot be treated as another 10. So we leave it as it is. 50, this is 0, and that's 5/10. So it remains unchanged, and it ends with a 0, which is 50. You got that? So you got 3 examples here. One where the last digit of the unit is more than 5. The next where the last unit was equal to 5. In both cases, you treat them as an extra 10 and nothing more. But when it's less than 5, then we don't treat it as an extra 10, so there's nothing to add, just a 0 here. Those are the rules, and this is what we've done. 6,256 turns into 6,260. 55 turns into 60, but 54 remains 50. And you know why. And you've done all the matching exercises before, and you've done this yourself. How many tens are in 56? Well, we'll say there's 6 tens, because this 6 is closer to a 10. How many tens are there in 55? Well, there are 6 tens, because 5 is almost close to a 10. So we'll treat that as an extra 10, so it becomes 60. But here, how many tens are in 54? Well, 4 is not a 10, so we won't add another 10 here. We just write 50. Those are the rules. And we've tried this, and it works. You match it like you did before. It all works out just right. So now that you've got the rules, try this one. What will this become? 183 turns into? Very good, 180, excellent. 83, the last digit, the units are less than 5, so it becomes just 80. You won't add another 10 to it. Very good. What about here? 20,528 becomes 20,500 and, not 28, but very good, 30, because this is more than 5. 5,911, what does that become? Say the whole number. 5,910. Very good. Okay, what about this one? 8,406. How do we treat 6? It's more than 5, so treat it as 110. Add 110 here, and it becomes 8,410. Very good. Increases by 1. This is a 0, and there's your answer. What about 15? Very good. 20. So 1,020. This is 1,015. Turns into 1,020. Very good. What about here? That's easy. 719. Very good. 720. Excellent. What about this one here? 75 becomes what? 80. Very good. What about this one? 54. 50. Excellent. And the last one is less than 5, so nothing changes except the last number becomes a 0. And that's it. You got it all. In case you made some mistakes or you got confused, just make sure you go over this video again and practice on your own until you get them all right. And you find that it's coming naturally and flowing easily. That's when you got mastery. We'll go on to the next video where we round off not to tens anymore, but to a larger number like hundreds. We'll learn all about that next time when we meet. Take care, have a wonderful day, and bye-bye.